Welcome back to Solo Assist. Adam here, and the end of season sale has started, and I'll be highlighting some top targets you should consider for your SO5 squads. If you like this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're not signed up to Solo yet, then sign up using the link below to get a free limited card and 13 common cards. So the end of season sale is now here, and today I'm going to be picking the top budget targets in terms of price and quality for the SO5 scoring. Today I'm going to be picking players from the Dutch Eredivisie League. This is part 2 of this 2-part video series for the Eredivisie budget players. Part 1 was a few days ago, so check back on the channel if you've not seen that video yet. If you want early access to these videos, then join my Patreon or become a member of this YouTube channel by clicking that join button below. You'll get early access to all scouting videos on the Solo Assist YouTube channel by joining one of these memberships. None of this content is financial advice, and always do your own research. Okay, let's get stuck in then. Today I'm going to be carrying on with the midfielders and then moving on to the forwards. Last week I covered the goalkeepers, defenders and some midfielders as well. So again, make sure you do check that other video. Okay then, let's carry on with the midfielders then. And the first one I've gone for is Richard-Lee Bazior of Vitesse. Only 25, he's got an L40 of 54, L15 of 46. His current price, you can get him for around 25 on his limited and 337 on his rare. But if you look back here where he was selling on auction, this was just in December for 622. As you can see, this is nearly a half price saving there. There was also an auction here for 578. This was back in February. And a more recent purchase, someone's picked him up for £225 in fact. And that was on the 30th of April. So he is really going at a budget price at the moment. In terms of his limited, someone's picked him up recently for £23. Back here, people are snapping him up for £83. So that's £60 saving there on this player. These drops are due to the end of season sale. Make sure you check out Bazior if you are interested in a midfielder for this season and next season. Another good player is Gus Till, only 24, L40 of 52, L15 of 49. Currently going for around £57 for his limited and around 386 for his rare card. Looking back at the history of his price, there's a sale here on auction of 1,169. There's also one here of 965. That's a very difference to his current price. More recently, someone snapped this guy up for 377 and also here as well for 461. A fantastic saving here for Gus Till. Looking at his limited price, people was trying to snap this guy up here for £229, 217, 177. Someone more recently has picked him up for 54. That's a 50% discount. Moving on then, another midfielder is Michael Sadalek of 20. And he's only 22. L40 of 53, L15 of 57, which is absolutely fantastic. At the minute he's going for around 53 and his rare is going for 443. In terms of his price graph then, more recently someone's picked this guy up for 458. Back here people are willing to pay 775 and 885. This was just back in February when obviously the end of season wasn't really in sight. So as you can see, the end of season sale is having an effect on this player and you can potentially pick him up for a decent bargain. If we look at his limited price then, so again on the auctions recently, £55 here, there's another one here, 55, £41 here, so I've really got a bargain there. Back here people paid 127, 127, 129, 131, 125 on auction. So as you can see, that's more than a 50% discount. The next player I've gone for is Jordi Clasie. He's a fantastic player, one potential to pick up now for next season. He's only 30, he's got an L40 of 51, L15 of 51 as well. Now his current price on his limited is going for around £9, which looks ridiculously cheap to me. And his rare is going for around 179. Now if we look at his price back here, people were paying around 327 for his services and his rare and 282 here. More recently, as I say, someone's picked him up for 173. In terms of his limited card, pretty much stagnant, although here he did sell an auction for 43. So when I say stagnant, that's probably not the right word. And here for 24 As I say, more recently you can get him for around half price and a very big discount to this price here that someone paid on auction for £44. So to me, this guy is looking a real bargain at this price. Another AZ player is Frederick Mitzjo, and he's only 28, L40 of 50, L15 of 48. More recently he's got an L5 of 51. He's going for around £12 at the moment, and his rare is going for around 156. Now, if we look at his price back here, this was in November, it was selling for around £499. Here, someone picked him up for £362 and £330 here. As I said, more recently, someone snapped up a bargain on auction, £167, potentially with next season in mind. Now, looking at his limited, it's going for around £12 more recently here, 15 as well, that was a direct offer there, £12 on auction. Back here is going for 23, 21 here, so you've got a good discount on his limited as well by the looks of things. More of a discount for his rare, but still a quality player, and only 28. Another midfielder that caught the eye is Halilovic of Heerenveen. Only 27, L40 of 49, L15 of 46. Now his limited is actually going for around £5 at the moment, and his rare is going for around £102. Now if we look at here, back here, his rare was going for £348 in November, £278 in December, and there was also one here for £240. More recently, someone's picked him up for £102 on the 11th of May. That is actually the time that this video was recorded. So that was today. So someone's picked him up today for £102. Now that is looking at tremendously cheap to me. In terms of his limited then, someone's picked him up again, another bargain here for £4. Back here was going for £18, 19 here, 22 here, and someone got really desperate here and bought him for £41, which looks an astronomical price, and £20. So as you can see, well, it's a very big saving there for this midfielder. Only 27 as well, looking decent. His scores are looking decent as well, as you can see here from his graph. So potentially one to keep an eye out. He's got 9 scores in the 60-70 range as well, so a very viable option. So on to the forwards now, and I'm sure everyone knows about this guy, Dusan Tadic. I wouldn't say he falls in the budget category, but I would say he falls within the end of season sale category. So he's got an L40 of 71, an L15 of 71. Probably one of the best scoring mid forwards on the platform. If we look at his price graph then, so as I say, at the moment, someone's picked him up on auction recently for £3,815. But back here, someone picked him up for £5,363 in February. And in January, someone picked him up for £5,600. In terms of his limited, well, his limited was selling for around £1,145 here, back in just February this year. And more recently, someone snapped him up for £596. That is a 50% saving there, if my math is correct. And if we look at his scores, he's got some absolutely fantastic scores. I mean, look at this graph here. You can see by these bar charts, most of the bar charts to the right of the screen where you're getting your 60s to 100 scores. Absolutely fantastic player. If you have him in your squad, you're bound to be near the top of the leaderboards. Obviously, if you have other quality players in your team as well. So next forward is Cody Gakpo. Again, another one who's probably everyone's aware of. L15 of 60, L40 of 68. Only 23. Currently, his limited is going for around 389, and his rare is going for around 2,656. So the most recent auction here was for 2,619. Back here, someone picked him up for 5,802, just in February. There's another one here for 4,676, 4,500, 3,976. Those prices are really eye-watering, and this reduction is also eye-watering as well. Now let's have a look at the limiteds then. So his limited back here was going for 1,115, 1,086, 1,032. More recently, someone's picked him up for £340. So that is, as you can see, a very, very big discount. It's still got under 23 eligibility as well until July 2023. So looking a really good prospect there. I don't know if there's potential rumours for him moving away from PSV, so that could potentially affect his performance as well, especially if he moves to a tougher league, so that is something to consider with this one. Another good forward is Jesper Karlsson of AZ. L40 of 64, L15 of 61, L5 of 64. As you can see, consistently good scores from this player. His limited is going for around 261 at the moment, and his rare for 1,735. Under 23 eligibility until July 2023 as well. Now in terms of his price, as I say, the most recent auction is 1,826. Back here was selling for 3,000, back here 3,100. In terms of his limited, selling here for 611, 654, 595. More recently, someone's picked him up for 262. Again, that's another 50% saving on a quality player. If you look at his scores, he's got some brilliant scores as well, attributed to the number of goals and assists that he scores. Absolutely fantastic card to have this if you've got the budget for him. Another good forward is Steven Berghuis, an L40 of 61, L15 of 62 and L5 of 63. Yes, more recently at the time of recording he's played on the bench the last 2 games, but he's come off the bench and got a decisive action and a score of around 70 odd. I know because I had him as captain more recently when I won a decent reward in one of the SO5 tournaments. Now, his price at the minute is going for around 206 for his limited and 1,538 for his rare card. Now, if we look here, someone picked him up on the auction for 1,532, and back here was selling for £2,502 on auction just at the end of March. And if we go further back to December, it was selling for £2,619, which is absolutely astronomical. And if we have a look at his limited then, so back here in December, it's selling for £430, £302 here, £312 more recently. Someone's picked up a real bargain for £193, which I think is looking really cheap for me for Steven Berghuis. And if we just have a quick look at his score graph, some absolutely fantastic scores here, as you can see. Now these scores here are his time at Feyenoord, where I'd say he was probably a better card at Feyenoord than he is at Ajax. That is because he was taking more of the corners and free kicks, that sort of thing, at Feyenoord. Obviously at Ajax he's had to share those responsibilities with some of the rest of the squad. But he's still got some fantastic scores at Ajax nevertheless. And as you can see from his bar chart, he's got some really good scores. 21 scores in the 90 to 100 range, which is absolutely fantastic. So I think he's still a very good card to have. He's obviously going to be an important player for Ajax in the next few seasons as well. He has a long contract with them, so he's definitely a fantastic forward card to have. Another good forward is Sebastian Haller, who also plays for Ajax. Only 27, L40 of 59 and L15 of 55. He's got an L5 of 39 recently, but I think he's going to come back to form, banging the goals and gets plenty of decisive scores. He's going for around 247 and 1,410 on his rare. So in terms of his score graph then, you can see here from his price graph, 3,277 here, just in March. And more recently, he's going for 1,410. Huge saving there, and if we look at his limited, here at its peak is going for around 776 in February, 658 here, and now it's going for around £227. So as you can see, that is absolutely fantastic. Now let's have a look at his score graph then. Some absolutely brilliant scores here, as you can see. Now more recently he has got a few lower numbers. Now this is because he's not been scoring, but he's more than capable of finding the back of net. This is just a little bit of a dry patch, I think, and he will be back to scoring form before long. This though, coupled with the fact that the end of season sale is on, this has probably brought his price right down. So if you're after a forward in the Challenger Europe division, then Sebastian Haller is probably the one you're looking for. Another good forward is Luis Openda of Vitesse. He's only 22 and he's got under 23 eligibility until 2024. He's currently going for around 131 for his limited and 999 for his rare card. Back here though, it was selling for 1,585 in January and 1,352 there in March. Someone's picked him up more recently for £900, so that is a huge saving there for his rare card. In terms of his limited, he was going for around 332 here, 313, this was just in February, 219 in February as well. More recently, someone's picked him up for £128. That's looking cheap for me for under 21 forward, with under 23 eligibility until 2024 as well. If we have a look at some of his scores, he's got some really consistent good scores here, especially more recently where he's really finding his form. So he's definitely looking like a good pickup here. L15 of 52 and L40 of 52 as well. So the final player this week and the final player in this Eredivisie end of season sales scouting video is Vangelis Pavlidis. Now he's only 23, eligibility until 2023 for the under 23 division. L40 of 51, L15 of 54. Limited is going for around 111 at the moment, and his rare is going for around 706. Now in terms of his price, back here was going for £1,168. More recently, it's sold for £551. Again, another huge saving there. And his limited back here was going for 136. More recently, someone's picked him up for £91 and £88 and 77 here. So as you can see, it's pretty good saving on his limited card as well, although probably not as much as his rare card, but you're still getting a potential bargain here with Pavlidis. Now he's another one who's potentially had rumours of him potentially moving to a different club, so maybe worth researching that as well before hitting that buy button. So that was all the picks for this week's end of season sale for the Eredivisie. Is there any of these players that you're thinking of buying? Do let me know in the comment section below. I will have more of these end of season sale videos coming up over the next weeks and month. So do make sure you subscribe to the channel so you do get all the top picks from me for potential good players who are looking at a budget price with next season in mind. Next in the end of season sale, I'll be going off to Portugal to scout out some of those players. So make sure you subscribe, as I say, so you don't miss that next video coming up next. If you did like this video, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. You can also become a member of this YouTube channel now as well by clicking that join button below. You'll get early access to all these scouting videos as well by being a member. Or you can become a member of the Patreon for weekly player scouting, and you'll also get early access to these videos as well. Also check out SuraAssist.com for free Sura resources and a 100-page ultimate guide to Sura ebook. And if you've not signed up to Sura yet, then sign up using the link below to get a free limited card and 13 common cards. Okay guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you again soon.